All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Love honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the Akim out there, listening and learning, increasing in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. I wanted to go into the time of trouble, which is coming right around the corner. All right, so this is, let me start off with Sirach, chapter 6, and verse 8. It says, Salak, let me start off at verse 6. Be in peace with many, nevertheless have but one counselor of 1,000. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. All right? For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble. You know? So you have to surround yourself around, you know, that which is good in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? Let me get this one. Romans chapter 8 and verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Okay? And that spiritually minded, you have to surround yourself around spiritually minded people. You know? Here's another one in the book of Proverbs. It's going to be Proverbs chapter 1. If I can get it, Salak. Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 3. To receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. You see? So in order to attain unto wise counsels, you have to be surrounded by those wise counsels, right? You can't be surrounded by the ways of the world, you know, the way the people are. You know, you have cyclists that surround themselves around other cyclists, right? That go out and, you know, they go out on their bicycles and do their thing. You know, the people that go to gym surround themselves around other gym junkies, okay, that want to go to the gym. You know, if you're a sloth, you know, you're not gonna have a gym junkie try to surround himself around you, you know, because you never want to go, you know. So you have to surround yourself around the people of the same caliber, you see. And if there is no people of that caliber, you know, we what we do is we watch videos, increase in wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and learning, you know. So it says, Sirach chapter 6 and verse 9, and there is a friend who is being turned to enmity and strife will discover thy reproach. Again, some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of thy affliction. You know? So, you know we have to suffer on our own, you know, go into you know, going into the time of trouble, all right, that's right around the corner, you know, Jacob's trouble. We know that during that time, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to put a strong spirit on the elect, you know, not to crumble in the pressure, you know, that's been going on in the world, you know. So you're not necessarily going to be needing, you know, a brother to piggyback off of and things of that nature, you know, because the Most High is going to put that spirit on you to where you're going to be able to persevere, you know. But the thing is, being around well or like-minded people, you know, in the sense of, see what happened with King Solomon. When King Solomon started coming around his heathen woman, all right, and the heathenistic gods, what he did is started following what they were doing. You know, Israel is very well influenced by the people around them, you know. That's why there's one where it says, who shall pity thee, O Jerusalem? You know, who's going to pity Israel? No one, you know, because Israel is the one that starts following people around. There's another one in Ecclesiastes or Ezekiel, where it says, that which cometh to your mind shall not come to pass, that ye say we shall be as the heathen. you know, because you want to be like the heathen because they don't get punished for the wickedness they do. But like it says in the book of Maccabees, 2 Maccabees chapter 6 verse 12, all right, the Most High is forbearing with the heathen, all right, for the punishment, you know, but Israel is punished right away and speedily. You see? So let me go back to it. This is book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 7. Because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. You know? So if you get yourself a friend that's enmity with what you stand for, you know, it's really an enmity with what the Most High stands for. You see? Because we're being set up as powers, man. You know, as the gods of the earth. Not saying that we are gods at the moment, you know, that we control things and do certain things, okay? But we are being set up as those powers, you know, as that power structure. You see? The spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So it says, so then they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High. You know? So if you have a friend, we all have friends in the flesh, you know? But the thing is not being in the flesh. You know, like that movie Matrix. In the movie Matrix, you have Neo that goes into the Matrix, okay? And then afterward, you know, whenever he needs to leave, he leaves. You know, but he doesn't stick around in the Matrix, okay, to try and be part of it. See? So it says, be ye not in the flesh, but in the spirit. If so be the spirit of the Most High dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the spirit of Mashiach, he is none of his. And if Mashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the spirit is life because of righteousness. You know? And that's really what we're after, man. We're after that righteousness. You know? We're after the righteousness. But in the time of trouble, okay, what we are going to be focused on is the spirit. You know, like I said in the book of Romans. So let me get this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9 and verse 6. For though a man be never so perfect among the children of men, yet if thy wisdom be not with him, he shall be nothing regarded. You see? So the spirit of wisdom, all right, the spirit of truth, if Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the wisdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is not with a man, okay, then no matter how perfect he is, all right, he shall be nothing regarded. You see? So we're being set up as those men, okay? But to be set up as those men, we have to follow the order, right? So this is Sirach chapter 10 and verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are all his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of Yahweh, and in due time he will set over one that is profitable. You see? But in order to get to that profitable king, okay, we must endure. You know, we must endure through tribulation, through hard times. You know, we might be going through certain things in the flesh, might be going through certain things in the world, you know. But as men of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, our minds have to be fixated, all right, on this truth and in this word. You see? Romans chapter 8 and verse 10. And if Mashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the spirit is life because of righteousness. But if the spirit of him that raised up Yahushai from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Yahushai from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his spirit that dwelleth in you. Therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh, to live after the flesh. For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye through the spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. For as many as are led by the Spirit of the Most High, they are the sons of the Most High. For ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. Right? So that spirit of fear can come in different ways, man. The spirit of fear can come in, being afraid to go out, being afraid to present your body a living sacrifice, being afraid of mockery, being afraid of some type of rejection, or being afraid of even death. We see that in Jonah, okay? When Jonah was told to go and prophesy against Nineveh, all right, he was afraid and he left, but the Spirit of the Most High made him come back to it. The Spirit of the Most High made him go back to his lot. You see, because the spirit of the prophet is subject unto a prophet. So this is Jeremiah 30, and let me see, Jeremiah 30 and 15. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquities, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be spoiled, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. You see? So going back to Romans chapter 8 and verse 10, verse 11, but if the spirit of him that raised up Yahweh from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Mashiach from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his spirit that dwelleth in you. Therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh to live after the flesh. For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. All right. Verse 14, for as many as are led by the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, they are the sons of the Most High. For ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. And that adoption pertains to Israel. You see? So the adoption wasn't given to just anybody. It wasn't even given to all Israel. As we read in the book of Romans as well, not all Israel is of Israel. Not all Israel is of the elect. Okay, so it all comes down to the elect of Israel. You see? Verse 16, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. You see? It bears witness with our spirit. Why? Because it correlates with what we believe in. So if you have, people of the world, that are going to try and go after the ways of the world, all right, Yahweh Shem Yahushai is not going to be present. When you try to present things of the scriptures or things of, immortal things, okay, they're not going to believe it, because with something so simple like don't eat pork, all right, because it's filthy, all right, as an Israelite, you shouldn't eat pork, or as a so-called Christian, okay, you shouldn't eat pork. They're not going to listen to that, they're not going to listen to it. It's something so small like that, like don't shave, something small like don't eat shrimp. You see, just small things that that we can put away, all right, that people can't follow because it's too much for them. How are we going to teach them worldly what is it called, extraterrestrial things, man? Heavenly things. Like in my father's mansion, in my father's house there are many mansions. How are we going to teach somebody that can't even let go of the pork chop? You see? So surrounding yourself around that energy, okay, around that positivity of salvation, is a main thing. So it says, verse 17, and if children, then heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Mashiach, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. You see? How can you be glorified, all right, if you're living in the flesh? Because even the elect, Even the elect, the flesh, the current flesh of the elect is not going to make it into the kingdom of heaven. Okay? That's why our bodies have to be changed. You know? Because the flesh is wicked. You know? Our hearts are wicked, man. That's why scripture says the heart is wicked above all things. Who can know it? You know? Who can know it? The Most High set it up that way. You see? What is that one? It's a lot. Continuing on, Jeremiah 30 and verse 17. For I will restore health unto thee, I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith Yahweh, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. You see? No one seeks after the health of Zion, man. Okay? And all those presidents know how to get you. You know? These so-called, leaders, they know how to get to you. All right? That's why in their campaigns, they always present some type of aid for Zion. Okay? We're going to bring aid for Zion, and we're going to bring, schools to the ghettos, and we're going to bring, money, and we're going to bring, some type of salvation is how they always get Jake, man. What did Joe Biden say? Joe was all about Jake, right? Joe was all about Jake and the so-called Latinos, man. We're going to do so much for you, and we're going to do this much for you, and this and that, and if you don't vote for me, you're not black, and so on and so forth, man. And then what happened? Look at the position that our people are still in. Look at the position they're still in. They haven't increased. There hasn't been any righteousness. It's still in the same low level that it's always been. Just a new president, a new name. But that's how they get you, because they present that salvation. Okay? Why? Because scripture says there is going to be no salvation for Jake, for Israel. And then you have these other presidents that say, oh no, I'm going to bring that salvation. And then people trust it, nothing happens, and it continues that way, man. They've been doing this for years, They've been doing it for years. Look what happened since Obama. I remember when I was in the 9th grade, all right, in 2009, you had Obama that was running for president, right? And you have these posters, man, in school, and it had Obama, all right, and right under it said hope. Hope. Like something was gonna change. There's gonna be a change now. There's gonna be, something good's gonna come out of this. And nothing happened. Okay? Nothing happened. Just the furthering of the plan of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? And then after Obama was what's this dude's name? Donald Trump. Was this dude Donald Trump, and then, pretty much nothing happened. All right? Something might have been moved to the left. Something might have been moved to the right. And then his term was up, and now it's Joe. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the way he's been putting these people up there is because Jake thinks they're going to get somebody that's good to work for them, to bring some type of justice. And the only way that this is going to be brought forth is through Yahweh Shem Yahushai, but that's how they're going to trick Israel. So again, Jeremiah 30 and verse 17, for I will restore health unto thee. You see? So that health is only brought from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Nobody else can save Israel, man. It says, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith Yahweh, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. You see? It says, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places, and the city shall be builded upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. Okay? And currently Israel's being built up through the Spirit. Okay? So as if you ever, get a building, if you ever look at a building, the way that it's being built, okay, and you look at the building next to it, it has a different design, okay? And that's how the house of Saul is, okay? And that's how the house of David is. They have different designs to it, okay? The house of David has a very particular design, and those that don't fit the piece of the puzzle are not going to be part of it, and that's the way that the Most High set it up, So in order to, what was that thing from the Matrix? When the Oracle tells Neo that he's not the one, she tells him, you have the gift, but it looks like you're waiting for something, and he asks her what, and she says, maybe another life, I don't know, but you have to fit the part, you can't just look the part. You got those people in IUIC that go out with their pretty purple garments and, screaming on top of their lungs, and they have the big speakers and they got all that stuff going on. They look the part, but their spirit doesn't fit the pieces of the house of David, So it says, seeketh after, verse 19, Jeremiah 30:19, and out of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them that make merry, and I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. Okay, so when did that happen? Right? If the word of the Most High never changes, okay, and we know that the wicked doers are going to see destruction, and we know that the righteous are going to see an everlasting kingdom, and their children are going to be untouched, okay, when did that take place? Bocam Malone believes that those people over there in Israel now are the children of of the promise, okay. Well, where are their golden cities and no more tears and, their salvation? Where's their salvation? But we don't see it because it hasn't happened yet, So if that hasn't happened yet, then that means that time of trouble hasn't came either, and if that time of trouble hasn't came, then that means it's coming. See? So it says, let me go to back up to verse 6. Jeremiah 30:6. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. All right, because of the destruction that's coming, the imminent destruction that's coming, okay? You're going to see men, all right, on the floor, You're going to see men with their countenance to the floor. That destruction that's coming, people are going to gather blackness and paleness, fear. You see? It's not going to be, a pleasant sight. Right now, everything seems calm. People hoping everything is going to get back to normal. And it's not. It's not going to get back to normal. Okay? And they're going to start pointing the fingers. All right, these people are the ones that are the causes of, why we're doing this. So in that time, like it says here, as a woman in travail, all faces are turned into paleness. Okay? Because of the time of trouble that's coming. Okay? You won't be able to buy or sell. You won't be able to do the things that you were able to do back then, maybe 2-3 years ago. You know, now you got people scared and of this thing that's going on. You know, and that jab, you need to get the jab. You can't buy, you know, you can't do this, you can't travel. Okay, they're starting to put a lot of restrictions on people, man. They're starting to put a lot of restrictions, you know. When was it? In 2020, all right, in the new year, in 2020, all right, you see New York City, and it was empty. It was empty during New Year. There was nobody there, okay? When every year they throw a big festival, all right, at the end of the year to bring in the new year, you know, part of their heathenistic customs, you know. This year you didn't hear much hype either, you know. Everybody's walking around with masks, you know. People aren't talking too much. You see, people are getting more and more distant. People don't go out as much anymore. You know, restaurants that were permanently closed. You see, that myrrh is starting to be quiet. You know, that myrrh, that great city, Babylon the Great, America, has been pushing forth in the world for so long, you know, has been shut down, you know, and it's been increasingly happening over the years, and the water Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you know. So it says again, verse 6, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, and there is none like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Okay? So we were given this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, okay, not to cast it, okay, not to cast it on the floor, all right, but to surround ourselves around it, you know, to fortify ourselves, man, you know, to fortify our beliefs and our faith. Because when that time comes, people are going to be looking for those answers, and they're not going to find it. You see? People are going to be looking for those answers, and they won't find it. All right, but the elect will have it. You know, like that parable with the 5 unwise virgins and the 5 wise virgins. You know, the 5 wise virgins, they were ready. Okay, they knew there was going to be some tarrying. Okay, they knew there was going to be some waiting. You know, so they brought enough oil to keep burning. You know, like whenever, like for instance, you know, when when I have a bottle of water, all right, and I don't have enough, you know, to keep getting bottles of water, you know, throughout the day, and I just have one, you know, I'll sit on that bottle of water all day long, a little bit here, you know, relax for a little bit and not give in to the flesh, you know, that wants to chug the whole thing, you know, but little by little, by the end of the day, you made the whole day, you know. That's how that oil is, man. It's going to preserve us. It's going to keep burning, and it's going to keep going, and it's going to continue us, you know, versus the unwise. They're only going to get what they think they need to know. Like that famous actor from, what's his name? He played with Martin Lawrence in Big Mama. I forgot that actor's name. All right, but he recently came into the knowledge of the truth, you know, and he distorted it, okay, tried to make it his own thing, and started selling sneakers and started selling merchandise, okay, in order to advance his money, you know, using this word as his own profit, his own gain, monetary system. You know, and what's going to end up happening is the Most High is going to destroy him. You see? It's point blank period. So back in Isaiah chapter 33, Isaiah 33 and verse 5, Yahweh was exalted, for he dwelleth on high. He hath filled Zion with judgment and righteousness. Okay? And that judgment is to judge. Okay? Is to judge. You know? When the Most High is restoring us back to our state, okay? Or as he's restoring us, all right? He's going to put those judgments inside of us, you know, to judge good from bad. You see? And that's what we're doing. You know, we're judging good from bad. We're coming back to our power. We're getting ourselves through the Spirit out of that slump of going after the ways of the world. You know, we all had aspirations at one point, you know, the brothers in the truth, to be basketball players, famous soccer players, famous singers or rappers, or, you know, to be part of the world, man. Part of, you know, what Esau Edom made our culture. You know, I had made a video a while back about this is not your culture. You know, your culture is not your culture. It was given to you, all right, pushed you to that point by Esau Edom, all right, telling you, oh, this is what you are, you know. And then Jake ran with it and said, you know what? Yeah, this is what we are. We are drug dealers, okay? We are evil doers. You know, we are cursed people. We are, you know, what the white man says we are, you know? And nobody batted an eye. Nobody said anything, all right? You didn't have old heads and you know, old Jakes or anybody saying anything. You didn't have Vocab Malone going to the ghettos saying, you're not a bunch of crackheads, okay? You didn't have any of that. Nobody batted an eye when we were in a low state. But now that we're coming back to our power, okay, you got people coming up. You got people rising up and saying, oh, no. You're not Israelites, okay? You're not Israelites, you know? Why? Because they want us to stay in that low state, all right? Whenever the second temple was being built, all right, you had a lot of heathen that were pretending to be Israelites, all right, so they can take a part of that building so they can be blessed too, you know? And now that they know that this is a spiritual thing, they're not going to be able to come into this building that's being built, okay? Because again, the pieces don't match up, you know? If you're not part of the elect, if you're not part of Yahweh Shai's, all right, then he's not going to let you build with him. You know, and like Yahweh Shai said in Luke 11 and 23, he that is not with me is against me. All right, he that gathereth not with me scattereth. Those are the ones that Yahweh Shai is going to take out. You know? So Isaiah 33 and verse 6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. Behold, their valiant ones shall cry without. The ambassadors of peace shall weep bitterly. Okay, and that's what we've been doing. We're weeping bitterly, man. Whenever we go to the highways and byways and proclaim this truth and preach the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, you know, it's not for look at us, you know, out here in the highways and byways. It's not for any of the measure of the flesh, you know, but it's in the measure of the spirit, weeping bitterly to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, all right, to look upon the face of the earth and see the wickedness that's being put out, you know. And this thing with the Omegatron, you know, this thing with that's been going on, you know, that these people are so afraid of, you know, that they're putting out, you know, you need to get this and you need to get, you know, vaccinated and you need to get this. Pretty soon that RFID chip, when it comes out, okay, which is the mark of the beast, all right, pretty soon everybody's going to take it, you know, and those that are afraid to take it, they're going to be afraid, but they're still going to take it at the end. Why? Because they're going to tell you, you can't buy food, you can't provide for your families, and that fear is going to bring forth your destruction. All right, why? Because you feared that Esau Edom more than you feared Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. You know, and people might take note of it and they'll listen to it a little bit and say, oh, that's kind of interesting, and then they continue about their way. All right, but when that time comes, then shall they know there was a prophet among them. you know, as scripture says. So it says, you know, that destruction that's coming. This is Isaiah 22:17. Behold, Yahweh will carry thee away with a mighty captivity, and will surely cover thee. Okay? He will surely cover thee. You know? So the Most High is going to take care of who? His elect. At the end of the day, his elect are his elect, and that's who he's going to take care of. Okay? Regardless of being alive or seeing death, okay? You'll still be taken care of. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon. If I can get it. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 2. In the sight of the unwise they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery, and their going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded, for the Most High proved them, and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace has he tried them, and received them as a burnt offering. And in the time of their visitation they shall shine to and run to and fro like sparks amongst the stubble. They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. All right, so when Yahweh Hashem Yahushua comes back, saves his elect, whether their flesh was put to death or not, okay, but their spirit will be called up to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua in the skies, okay, to meet him in the skies, okay, and they shall reign with Yahushua. You see? So what manner, like, what's that scripture? So now that we know that, what manner of men should we be? You know? And what manner of conversation should we be in? You see? Of making many books, there is no end. You know? Knowing that it's a weariness of the flesh. So back in Isaiah chapter 22 and verse 18, he will surely violently turn and toss thee like a ball into a large country. There shalt thou die, and there the chariots of thy glory shall be the shame of thy Lord's house. And I will drive thee from thy station, and from thy state shall he pull thee down. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will call my servant Eliakim the son of Hilkiah, Salak, and I will clothe him with thy robe, and strengthen him with thy girdle, and I will commit thy government unto his hands, and he shall be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. Well, that goes into something else, Salak. But jump into Isaiah 24. So like that jumps into something else. Isaiah 24 and 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore hath he cursed, has the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and a few men left. You see? So that destruction that's coming, all right, is coming for those that are a part of this world, man. All right, for those that want to be, you know, followers of the flesh, you know? Because like we read, those that follow after the flesh are enmity to the Most High. You see? So it says, verse 7, the new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh, the myrrh of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, and the joy of the harp ceaseth. You see? And that's what I was going into, man. The ways of the world right now are super, super quiet. Okay? Compared to years ago, how people would be in this time, all right, there would be people all over the streets and and going out and doing things, you know, being a part of the world. And now the myrrh, all right, the mirth, the happiness, it's all ceasing, man. You know, everybody's more quiet now. They're more to themselves now. They're, you know, the love of many has waxed cold. You know, people don't care to help you out anymore. Every man to himself. And it's only going to get worse. You know, so in the book of Sirach, when it goes into having friends, there's one, I don't remember exactly where it is, all right, but it goes into, I don't know if it was that same one that I brought out a minute ago, all right, but it goes into, you're going to have friends that are going to turn their backs on you in the day of trouble, man, okay? So you surrounding yourself around those friends too much is going to cause, you know, some type of sorrow to come to you, you know? Like I said, we all have friends of the world, you know? But surrounding yourself around that to the point where you're dependent on them can be your undoing, you know? Look what happened to Judas Iscariot, you know? Even though we know it was planned to be that way, you know, Yahweh set it up that way. You know, or Yahweh set it up that way, and Yahweh knew about it. You know, but look at that, man. Look at that and take that as an example. You know, of how shiesty and how wicked people can really be. You know, you can't really trust anyone. You see. So it says, let me read that again. Isaiah 24:8, the mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, and the joy of the harp ceaseth. Okay? What happened to your New Year's celebration? Right? What happened to your gathering that you used to do every Christmas, and, you know, which Christmas is a wicked ass pagan holiday, you know, but you don't see it anymore. Okay, why? Because the myrrh is ending, you know, the happiness is ceasing, and it was set up that way. It says, verse 9, they shall not drink wine with a song, strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. All right, because the myrrh is ending. And we see that. 2 years ago during New Year's, what would have happened? You would have had millions of people, hundreds of people celebrating and jumping in joy. Last year in Times Square was empty. Okay. This year people aren't, you know, out there celebrating with each other and giving each other high fives. Okay. Here in Austin, you have something called 6th Street. All right, where a lot of people go on Friday and Saturday to drink and get together. You know, people haven't been going. There's been shootings, you know, because the love of many shall wax worse and worse. All right, because waxing cold, you know, because these people out here are only friends in their time. You know, they're only friends by name. They're only friends by triumph, you know. When you're doing good, they're your friends. When you're doing bad, they don't talk to you. You know, that's how the ways of the people are, man. You know, that's how it is. You know, but a true friend, all right, is one that's going to bring that wisdom. Okay, a true friend is one that's going to give you knowledge, understanding, discretion. A true friend is going to give you instruction. Okay, and those are the true friends that you need to surround yourself around. You know, like the elder apostles, like the elders, and like the brothers. They'll instruct you in the ways you should go by way of wisdom, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You know? So verse 10, Isaiah 24:10, this city of confusion is broken down. And that's it. Babylon the Great has been broken down, man. You know? And it's being broken down, and it's going to continue to be broken down. Okay? Because Esau Edom has it in his mind, okay, that he's going to be able to rule forever. Okay? After Babylon is destroyed, he thinks that he can set up an order, a new world order, okay, to where he can rule everything on his own, you know, and it's going to be his demise, you know, like it says in the book of Job chapter 20, all those things that he gathered together for himself, all right, all those things that he heaped for himself, it's all going to fall back on his head, and he's going to have to vomit everything back up, you know, like that scripture says, his son shall seek to please the poor, okay, which means what? In the kingdom of heaven, all right, when your captivity comes, okay, when Esau Edom's captivity comes in the kingdom of heaven, they're going to seek to please Israel, man. All right, they're going to try their hardest to please Israel. You know, it's not going to be like now, you know, they see a poor man, they'll give him like $2. No, man, it's going to be in the kingdom of heaven. They're going to see you and they're going to try and kiss your feet. Oh, master, what do you want me to do, master? Just like Jake is right now to Esau Edom. You know, Esau is going to be like that, but 10 times more. You know, they're going to seek to please Israel, man. And why? Because they know that their destruction is coming. You know, after 1,000 years in the kingdom, we don't know how it's going to happen, but we know Esau Edom is going to be cut off permanently. Okay? He's going to permanently be cut off forever. You know? So it says, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. You see? That's how it is. That's how you're seeing this modern day world, man. That's how you're seeing Babylon the Great falling. You know? Just go into the scriptures and you'll see it. The city of confusion is broken down. You know? Because what does Babel mean? All right, when you babbling, okay, it means you're saying a bunch of gibberish. Okay? And Babylon, which is Babel, okay, is nothing but confusion. You know? Saying that a female child can actually be a man child if she thinks she is. You know? They're old enough to know, all right, even though they're in kindergarten or in first grade, they're old enough to know what they are. You know? They're old enough to make decisions for themselves. But yet when it comes to choosing being with a correct guardian, all right, or a correct parent, you know, one that is actually good for them, oh, no, they have to be with the mother. They don't know what they're saying. Okay, they can't choose. You know? But then when it comes to drinking alcohol, oh, you have to be 21 years old. You know, if you're 20 years old, you can't make a decision to be what is that called? A conscious, okay? A conscious human, you know, to know and drink responsibly. You have to be 21 to be responsible to drink. But you can be 5 years old to choose your gender. You see, this place is fucking confusing, man. It's nothing but confusion. All right? You got women that are ruling over men, all right, wondering why the world has gone to shit. You know? And it's because Esau Edom and the women have taken that advantage of being the heads of the world. You know? So it says, the city of confusion is broken down, and has been broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. All right, when you look at the way that people are, all right, whenever your house is open to people, it's a symbolic meaning of hospitality. Okay, it's a symbolic meaning of hospitality and goodness, right? Well, you look at the way that the world is, and they're not like that anymore. They're not hospitable, okay? They don't care about your health. You know, they care about themselves. They want to do their own thing. You know? They're not hospitable anymore, man. Every man for himself, you know? Back then, all right, whenever you were running into trouble and you would knock on a house and they would let you come in, you know, there would be it would be in your safety, you know? Nowadays, people are so afraid. You knock on their houses and, you know, they'll open it. You're like, what do you want? You know? Because of that fear that Esau Edom has been pushing on the people. You know? It has turned their minds into the thinking of, you know, nobody's good anymore. You know? And that's because Babylon the Great has been broken down. You know? The way things were back then in the 60s and the 70s, you know, where people were more welcoming and more friendly, you know, all that thing is being tossed to the side, man. It's been tossed to to the trash. You know, all that stuff has been thrown behind. People don't think that way anymore. They don't think friendly. They don't think, you know, happy. The way that, you know, propaganda has worked, the way that Esau Edom has been putting everything together, now it's everybody's bad. You can't trust anybody. Okay, and what happens is a separation. Okay, and in that separation, there's gonna come chaos. But through the chaos, they're gonna bring order, and that's the new world order that they're trying to bring forth. All right, so it says Isaiah 24:10, the city of confusion is broken down, every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There is crying for wine in the streets, all joy is darkened, and mirth of the land is gone. In the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. You see, that's imminent. The only thing that's left is just that chip, all right, to be put into play. Once that chip comes into play, the elect don't take it, and the 2/3 take it, all right, and the heathen take it, okay, and the house of Esau remains the house of Esau because there's destruction for you regardless. Okay, what's gonna happen? You're gonna bring that destruction. World War III, all right, for the atrocities of Esau Edom. All these other nations are gonna go to war with Babylon the Great, city of confusion. Okay, and then when Yahweh comes back during that destruction, saving the elect and bringing forth the end of the reign of the heathen, you know? And then that's when Sirach 10 says, but in due time I will set one that is profitable, which is Yahweh. And then when Yahweh is set up as king, all right, he's going to start crowning the elect as co-heirs to the kingdom, you know? And then there's going to be righteousness set in the earth, okay? Then the heathen are going to rejoice, not because they have their own kingdom, but because they have a righteous ruler and no longer Esau Edom as the wicked. You know, it says Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 18, and it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the widows, for the windows from the high are open, and the foundation of the earth do shake. The earth is utterly broken down, the earth is clean dissolved, the earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. You see, so that destruction that's coming, which is by ICBMs, all right, intercontinental ballistic missiles. Those missiles that are coming, all right, are going to clean out the whole world, man. All right, it's going to clean out the whole world. All right, all the erected buildings, you know, that Esau Edom has put up in his pride, you know, reaching the skies like an eagle, you know, reaching the heavens like a cloud. You see? All this, technology that Esau Edom has brought forth to try and promote himself as the God is going to be wiped clean and desolate, destroyed. So it says, shall not rise again. Verse 21, and it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. You see? And if you're part of those partakers of the chip, all right, of the mark of the beast, if you're one of those partakers of the system of the beast, all right, you're going to be put to death right along with them. It says, verse 22, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. Then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when Yahweh of hosts shall reign in the Mount Zion, in Jerusalem, and before his ancients gloriously. All right, before his ancients gloriously, which is what? Reincarnation, man. All right, those judges in the time of judges, all right, those kings in the time of kings, all right, the righteous are going to come back and be the righteous ruling in the kingdom of heaven. You see? This is Jeremiah 30 and verse 19, and out of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them that make merry. I will multiply them that they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Their children also shall be as aforetime, all right, which is the right way that we should have been, okay? And their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppose them. You see? Which is who? Esau Edom. So you want to surround yourself around these words of wisdom, okay, in order to find that salvation, in order to find that wisdom, knowledge, understanding, that stability. If you surround yourself around that stability, you're going to be stable, okay? But if you surround yourself around that doubt, around that fear, like it says in the book of Romans, I believe, we didn't receive that adoption of fear. Yeah, it was Romans. All right, we didn't receive that spirit of fear. We received the spirit of adoption. All right, to cry, Abba, Father, something that the rest of Israel cannot do. Okay, we receive the spirit of truth, not the spirit of slumber, to where we fear, okay, every single thing. We don't really know what's going on, just like the people in this earth, man. They don't know what's really going on. Okay, they close their doors to their houses, man. Okay, because of that fear that they don't know what's good and what's bad. But he gave us the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, okay, to keep the doors open until he closes them, okay? Because when those doors close, all right, nobody can get in and nobody can get out. Like it says in Revelation, there's a great gulf fixed. You see? There's a great gulf fixed. So those that would go thence, go to the other side, cannot. And those that want to pass over to this side cannot. So it says, verse 20, their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all them that oppress them, and their nobles shall be of themselves, and their governor shall proceed from the midst of them, and I will cause him to draw near, and he shall approach unto me. For who is this that engaged his heart to approach unto me, saith Yahweh? And ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. Okay, so it's not talking about the whole world is going to be, under the order of the kingdom of heaven. This is talking about the order of Israel. Okay, starting with Yahweh Shai, the elect, 144,000 elect men. Okay, and then the followers, and then the rest of Israel. Okay? That's why it says that their governor is going to be from the midst of them. All right? Yahweh Shai came from the tribes of Israel. You know? So it says, their nobles shall be of themselves. Okay, so of the 12 tribes, and the governor is going to be in the midst of them. You know? That means there's not going to be no Esau, Edom. There's not going to be Ammon or Moab. You're not going to have Canaan or anybody from Ham, Elam. You know? You're not going to have any other nation in the kingdom of heaven ruling over Jake. Okay? It's going to be Israel above Israel. All right? And nobody else. You see? So in order to be, you know, famous, not famous, but successful, wealthy CEOs and entrepreneurs surround themselves around other successful and wealthy entrepreneurs and CEOs. You know, you surround yourself around death. That's what's going to bring. See? But if you want to make it into the kingdom of heaven, you have to surround yourself around those elect men. You know? You can't surround yourself around Esau, Edom. You can't surround yourself around these other nations. You can't surround yourself around the ways of the world. You can't surround yourself around 2/3 of Israel, man. You have to surround yourself around the scriptures. All right? Surround yourself and then cover yourself. And like it says, baptize yourself with this word. You know? That's what that baptism really represents. In Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 9, whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. That word weaned means to submerge yourself, to deal fully with. Okay? So you have to submerge yourself into this truth, man. You know? So I hope that was edifying, and with that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.